This is the year that Fink beats the stomach.
Welcome to Fink Beats the Stomach, our bi-weekly take on the world of competitive eating. I'm Mike Sullivan.
And I'm James Splendori.
James, we made it to the other side of the 4th Finkie Awards here at episode 87.
We did. It feels like a good... it felt like a good show.
There's been a lot of talk...
Let's not skip the booze here.
We made it. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. It was a great show. It was a great show. There were technical issues, which always happen with Fink Beats the Stomach.
And I want to be clear off the front. Off the front, up top, whatever.
Wherever, yeah.
Yeah, front side, back side.
Be clear here.
None of them had to do with the technical proficiency or the work put in by one Michael Sullivan. I feel like there's nothing you could have done about those.
I mean, we tried our best.
I think he did great.
We tried our best.
And as I mentioned to you via text, as you like to say, we're going to pull the curtain back. The show looked great.
We looked great.
Well, we looked fine.
The crowd looked great.
The crowd looked delightful. No, but the visuals were my favorite this year, I think.
I had fun with it this year.
I really enjoyed that.
I had fun with it.
I thought they were a lot of fun.
So yeah, unfortunately, we weren't even trying to video stream because we knew that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
we're not even video streaming this episode.
Oh yeah, see you in the future.
So we decided to peel it back a little bit. We're just going to record for now until we can figure this stuff out.
Getting back to our basics.
Back to basics.
No.
But unfortunately, even going back to basics, we couldn't get audio. We had a few, lengths of cords and some of the equipment moved around. So we tried our best, but I feel, the presentation itself, I was happy with. All the people that were involved that helped us make the event so great.
Yep.
Obviously, our friends and family.
Couldn't have been happier, and we said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. To have all of both of our parents, obviously our siblings were not there. Having all 4 of our parents there felt really, really nice. And having
incredible.
Our moms run into each other was fun.
Yeah.
Hey! Of course, our dads don't want to talk to anybody.
No.
But
they're both similar in that.
Our moms were. Yeah, it's actually very funny. Our moms were psyched. Our family were there. That was such an amazing part of this year.
Absolutely, and especially all the people who. Kate, first of all, my wife,
That's right.
Putting up with all the planning and stuff that we did, and willing to help out. She brought some stuff with her, after the fact, which we needed.
Kate absolutely crushed.
And then all of our friends and family who helped with the games and different things.
That's right.
And of course the eaters. We had a handful of eaters in the crowd, which was awesome. We had both the Rovtars, Dr. Renee and Christina Rovtar.
And their significant others.
And George Chigger came all the way from Poconos.
Yeah, Poconos, deep Long
Island City, the whole thing.
And you could not have been more right about how great Chigger is.
He's the man.
I don't know if he's going to listen to this, and I don't care. Dude, meeting Chigger was the best.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like I mentioned it on the show, but I got to really talk to him because he was at Nathan's last year, but we didn't really get to chit-chat with him. There was so much going on.
Huge
mistake. But yeah, I got to know him a little bit better up in Minnesota. So happy that he came down. And we'll talk a little bit more about him, I feel like, in a little bit. Prudence Benedetto coming in, who's been...
Dear Prudence.
Little did we realize, how she's kind of been there from the beginning of Fink Beats the Stomach, for us, at least.
Yeah, big shouts to Prudence. Thank you so much, Prudence.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Such a sweetheart.
And, of course, Crazy Legs Conti, who, as we said during the show, really is one of those people who supported Fink Beats the Stomach from the very, very beginning.
And he was doing mic checks with us.
He was trying to help us out with the mics. Everyone was trying to help out. I threw together, some of the photos. I'm still kind of going through a lot of them, but
something we missed and what you're looking. Oh, there are our mothers.
We interviewed our moms. Big thanks to our moms. That's us up there interviewing.
Mike, I love the way, and this is terrible for the video part. Mike's sitting there like a real host with the nice leg cross there. But what you're seeing, if you're looking at these, the inside of one Flannery's bar.
Flannery's
which we did
bar.
not mention.
Yes, obviously, big thanks to Flannery's
Chigger looking
bar.
like $1.5 million
next to Maeve, of course.
But Flannery's Bar, 14th Street, 7th Avenue in New York City. Could not say enough about Mush and everybody there and how lovely they are. So go there, spend insane amounts of money and put it in their pockets because they couldn't be nicer.
Absolutely. They really let us, kind of do whatever we wanted at the bar, which was awesome.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good photos. I guess off the top, let's kind of go through the awards. The winners of the evening, kind of rolling it through, you may have seen on our social media, but Nathan's Famous won Sponsor of the Year.
Shocker.
Yeah, by a landslide victory. Obviously, a lot of the fans who voted, and thanks to all the fans who voted.
Lots
as
of
well.
serious faces there in the beginning. There was a photo of us pre-show. It's like, yo, are we screwed?
Well, yeah, that was that was we had a little bit of an emergency beforehand. But so Nathan's won by a very large margin, I will say. A lot of the fans of competitive eating obviously know Nathan's, and we were able to kind of talk about that as well, and what it's even meant to us. So that was a cool moment. For Rising Star of the Year, George Chigger won.
No surprises there.
And I said this at the Finkies, but since we don't have a recording, I want to say this out loud. What an amazing category of eaters that we had this year. You George Chigger, Matt Hazard, Nick Wary, Prudence DiBenedetto, and Joel Hansen. And it was a very, very close vote. And I'm telling you, within percentage points between George and Matt Hazard. And Nick Wary, who we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show.
Another sweetheart.
Another amazing eater. Joel, I've been getting more and more on his YouTube channel. And Prudence, really, one of the reasons why we changed the award in a way was for people like Prudence who have been involved in the sport and have kind of kicked their game up a notch a little bit.
And thinking about it now, it's amazing it hasn't occurred to me before, but that's maybe our closest to our heart. That might be the closest to a Fink award. Those people, I mean, we obviously don't know Joel, but those people we really love.
Yeah, it's the reason why
all the sweetheart award.
We stay, I think, excited about competitive eating is all of these new eaters that come in or just get more involved. And maybe they've been doing it for a little bit, but now they're saying, you know what? I'm going to spend the next year going to 8 contests, as opposed to the one that's in my backyard.
Right.
So big congrats to George. But really, personally for me, like you said, I really feel that was almost the Finkie Award, which we did the first year.
That's right. And Crazy Legs Conti, first and only
first
winner.
recipient. Yeah,
that's right.
First and only recipient. Next, we had the Media Moment of the Year.
Ooh.
Where Juan Rodriguez and Sarah Reinecke, the
multiple award nominee Juan Rodriguez.
Absolutely,
actually, I forgot.
Absolutely. They won for their appearance in Men's Health. And
something we've talked about it. Maybe a couple times on the show.
Yeah, we talked about it quite a bit. But that was an award, James. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was almost, if Rising Star was the Fink Brothers Award, almost appreciation award.
Yeah.
The Media Moment was also the Fink Beats the Stomach podcast award, because it's what gave us content. I really feel like throughout the year, and a lot of the bits, most of those things that were nominated, we had a bit on the show talking.
And
about
in fact, we probably won, and this is probably the best part. We probably do a bit off air for almost all of those. We will mention or do hey guys, or just talk about people puking on TV.
Absolutely.
And in the streets,
just weird local news segments.
Right. So yeah, that is also, that's a really great point. That is the Fink Beats the Stomach official maybe award.
For the show. Yeah.
When we're on camera.
The corporate award.
Gladys loves that one.
Breakout Performance of the Year. Another award, if I remember correctly, that was won by a pretty good margin. Jeff Esper, John's Incredible Pizza. Congrats to Jeff. And again, something that we talked about a lot on our show was Jeff Esper's reign. The raise
of Jeff Esper
that he gave himself. We had Leslie Ryder on, and that was one of the big topics of discussion. So no surprise there. Jeff's had a fantastic 2018, and really excited to see how he does in 2019.
Yeah.
And finally, you see the Rovtars, Mr. and Mrs. Rovtar on the screen.
That's a fact.
Or Dr. and Mr. Rovtar on the screen.
I kept calling her Ms. Dr. Rovtar.
But the Rovtars won Rivalry of the Year, Dr. Renee and Christina Rovtar. Again, the Rovtars the past 2 years have made the Finkie Awards so much fun
delightful
for the two of us.
Yeah.
You could see it in a lot of these pictures, but we were gifted by them last year a red carpet.
Which
it says it's red carpet says welcome. It says the Finkie Awards underneath it. So we had that this year, and it became a funny bit.
That was maybe one of my favorite things. And I love when you and I do something that we didn't talk about, but we're immediately like,
Right.
we both think that's funny.
Absolutely.
And that was one of those. And truthfully, the Rovtars in general, but I'll speak to Dr. Renee because I think we've had more FaceTime with her, is just like the epitome of kindness and like class and grace. And she's just like exactly who you want to have around you and come to that type of stuff. It's unbelievable that she's so nice to us. And then
yes.
Christina comes around and Mr. Rovtar, so she's like, Jesus, there's more of you? There's more?
It's amazing. And I love Peter, who I'm 99% sure is Christina's brother, but I realized
they're just there.
We were so like they're such a big group, and like but I assume he's the Rovtar young lad of the crowd. But I had a funny moment with him where when we were trying to do the mic check to like figure it out, he was just like locked with me, and I was like turning a knob, and he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, all right, like let me try this, and he'd be like, nah, it's like a little bit better. And him and I were like doing.
He just took on the.
He was like just sitting in his chair, like
new Alex,
but just like bummed out. Yes, exactly, like Alex from Bar 9.
Maybe we gotta hire Alex.
That's what we really should be doing. Get a real sound guy.
We paid him the first couple of years. We cut that
more
cost,
than what
right?
Bar 9 was paying him probably.
Yeah, wow, but that was a real cost-cutting, maybe short-sighted move. We gotta hire.
We gotta bring it back. This is what happens when you cut production costs.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd pick up our phone call. If he like pieced it together, he would pick it up.
Absolutely. I feel like I might still have his.
I know. I've seen Alex Bar 9 in my phone recently and been like,
maybe next
year.
year.
Did I meet a girl named Alex at Bar 9? And I'm like, no, it's
business. It's business.
Yeah.
It's a business number, business line.
I hope that I put his number in his work and not so.
But yeah, I mean, the Rovtars are just have been such a blessing to the Finkies and to Fink Beats the Stomach, really. I mean, the envelopes that we had came from Renee, and
all the note cards.
These, so they're just so
Thank
thoughtful,
you.
and
the Christmas gifts,
right?
Like, all of it. It's unbelievable.
So really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting and being excited. And I just remember last year having you guys there and just being like blown away with
and adding Christina for the longer term,
right? And that a year ago or now a year and a half ago, where it was just this is Renee's daughter who's here and excited about her mom being nominated. Now they're winning an award,
and now she got the raise.
She got the raise herself.
Meeting.
So that was really fun.
That was a ton of fun.
So congrats, and again, thank you to all the listeners and stuff who voted, and really the family and friends. I know of a lot of the eaters who were forced to vote by some of the nominees. Almost all the eaters commented on like, thanks my friends and family, put up with my Facebook posts.
Also, thanks to all the people who, for real, and this is maybe going to sound sarcastic or backhanded, who don't listen but still love the Finkies.
Right.
I love
Which is
that.
a lot of people.
I love that subsection. Like, obviously, I gave like the sort of tongue-in-cheek shout out to our one listener, Rachel, who again, shout out for being our one potential consistent listener.
2 with my mom.
I was going to ask. I don't know if your mom is still listening.
She's hopped back in recently.
Okay, so our 2 consistent listeners, obviously Mrs. Sullivan, I can give you nothing but love. But I kind of love that, maybe I listen, maybe I don't, but the Finkies is a party I'm going to come to.
Like Kate's coworkers from Windward were just psyched to see some of the clips of competitive eating and see the eaters going up there and doing the whole thing.
My dad loved The Price is Right but Eating, which
Price
I mentioned
is
to you a bit.
Always fun.
Mike.
Always fun. So we've done that every year. So big shouts to Maeve, Zach, and James Mercado.
Yo,
kill it as always as contestants.
I did the little introduction between them. We haven't talked about this, I don't think. And I was like, you guys remember each other? And it was I remember in Fast Five when they all or in Oceans.
The answer is always yes to that question.
Or in Oceans or wherever, when they get the team together.
Yeah.
And they're always I remember you. That's what they walked up to each other we're here for business. Zach was the last one who came in, and him and James Mercado could not be a funnier pairing. And they were like, "Hey, how are you? Good to see you. How you been? Great." It was they're we're here to do business. We're gonna crush it, and it's gonna be fine. It was amazing to see.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the way the rules work is we ask competitive eating questions that have a numerical answer. So how many ounces of cheese curds did Darren Breeden eat to win the championship? And it's closest without going over.
Which failed us at a certain point.
Yeah, which in true Fink Beats the Stomach fashion as well.
Well, that's also why I had to do a shot. That's what I didn't want to drink.
Oh, I forgot that you did a shot.
I had to.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, it's because James Mercado.
James Mercado. You can't say no to that face.
So that's the whole thing is we had usually we've done 3 shots in the past. This year we did a full beer and 2 shots.
Right.
And the winner gets to choose from any of the drinks that are left, take it in victory, or give it to one of the competitors and have them drink it in shame.
Right.
But what I thought was funny was for the first year, they started conspiring together. So be like, oh, like, do you want the beer? Like, no, I'll take the fireball shot. Like,
it's a
like,
true
all right,
friendship.
Mabel do the shot. Like,
yeah, one day we're gonna hear from one of them, or like if Kate, are you on the Snapchat?
Mm-mm.
If Kate's gonna be like,
Not
yeah, I
anymore.
saw Maeve hanging out with James Mercado. It's gonna be like, well, he was in Philly. Yeah, they just hit each other up. Like, it's gonna happen.
like James goes to Philly. It's like, yo, Maeve, like, what's
Yes.
up?
Like we'd do that before I even knew he was in Philly.
This
dude.
bar is playing The Price is Right. Like, do you want to go watch?
Which would be Fink's, I think, best
That
achievement.
would, of all the things that we've accomplished,
We would
that
give an award for that to the Finkie Awards for bringing friendship.
the Mercado Daily Friendship Award.
Wow.
That's what it's gonna be.
Race for the cure.
We did the Muggle Trivia Flip Cup Challenge. We were trying to get all the eaters involved to answer Muggle questions, really like pop culture questions, and get some people from the crowd to answer competitive eating questions. I loved the bit when you had Sophia, who is a teacher with Kate, and Dr. Rotar. Up
Yeah, that was a
there.
good pairing.
You're like, what's your favorite week of the school year?
They're
That's
like-
like an icebreaker question. Kate goes, that's like a really good question.
Yeah, I went too deep though. Like you
was good.
can't.
That was good, though.
You need just like a I don't yes or no. Like like do you ever eat in the cafeteria? Yes or get it out. But I was like, tell
Is
me.
lunch duty your least favorite?
Like especially like I've met Sophia before, and obviously I love Dr. Renee. I was like, oh, I really want to like get into this like question. Big mistake, as you can imagine. I had a couple things to drink at that point. I was reading the questions. I tried to ruin the bet, basically.
It was great.
But I feel like it's still
It was great.
because the idea is so good.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
And then I guess just as kind of like a last note, I don't know if I mentioned it when I mentioned that he was there, but Crazy Legs did a great introduction for us,
Thank you,
which was
CLC.
very, very nice of him. And unfortunately, Badlands couldn't attend. We had
That's hard.
like a chugging bit going on.
And lots of Badlands bits.
But I really the crowd, especially the people who were involved.
Yeah.
We brought a bunch of people from the crowd to chug a cup of water in Badlands' honor.
Which felt good.
If it did feel good, and we had the one larger bottle of water that he was going to chug in honor of him.
Which we probably should have drank more of.
Probably, yeah, that would have been well.
But big shouts to Badlands. Can't wait to have you back next year.
Absolutely.
And big shouts to everyone who did participate in the chug or who didn't. Just another very fun year, even all of the sort of stress and the like
Absolutely.
coming with the sound issues.
And I'm sorry to anyone that I didn't say bye to or I didn't say bye coherently to.
I'm not even sorry.
I mean, I had a great time, but I was hurting the next day and don't really remember how I got home. But I did, because I have a wife that looks out for me. Like,
Big shouts to Kate on that. And I love Christina Rovtar gave me a shout. Never order the tall vodka soda. Just don't do it.
when we would go over to the bar and so you were getting vodka sodas, I was getting whiskey gingers, and when he would say like, "Oh, you want a tall one?" but like wasn't really asking. His back was already turned.
And like you know how every Irishman asks every question rhetorically anyway?
Correct.
This one was the most rhetorical question I've ever been involved in.
So yeah, after a few of those large whiskey
still
gingers,
fun.
I had a great time, but it just
I was
didn't end
overserved.
pretty quickly.
Overserved.
So
To no fault of Flannery. So it was all on my own. I'm a grown man of my own belief.
but we march on.
Yes, we do.
And
We're here now.
it was great to celebrate the 2018 year of competitive eating.
Yes, it definitely was.
And now here we are in the 2019 year of competitive eating.
Which we're getting deep.
We are starting to
not
get
deep,
deep.
but we're
Things are
starting.
really starting to pick up.
Yep.
I'd say really from here through the summer, we should have at least something going on every single weekend.
Nice.
And one of the big things that went on was the Cape Coral, Florida, Nathan's Famous Qualifier.
Now, Yabba-do.
Yabba-do.
First of all.
Still working, getting that sound effect working.
Hey.
Yabba-do.
I feel like now us just saying Yabba-do
It's even better.
is maybe better. It's sillier. We're in 2019, so I fully sanction this. This is fine. I have no issues with this one. And it was a lineup that we enjoyed.
Absolutely. So I guess getting right to the results. I have some photos from the contest. So Nick Wary took the men's win with 34 hot dogs and buns.
My man, coming out early and hot.
Which didn't do as much research as we normally do for this episode, but I'm almost positive that ties his personal best, a personal best that he set while we were there last year at Citi Field.
Right.
The Citi Field qualifier. And Mary Bowers making her return.
Welcome back.
Absolutely. So Mary, I don't know if I know she was not there last year.
Yep.
I don't know if it's been 2 years or 1
I
year.
feel like it was just last year.
So at least I know in 2018 she was not in the contest.
Yeah.
But she, obviously a veteran of female competitive eating.
Yep.
I looked quick. This was her 20th
Wow.
hot dog contest, including all qualifiers, all Brooklyn appearances on the 4th.
That's a long time in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have Nick qualifying for his second time, and Mary probably qualifying for her 7th or 8th time or something like that. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And big ups to Mary.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of my Mary Bowers.
I just wanted to say
okay.
10 and a quarter.
10
and a quarter.
10 and a quarter. So that's, I did jump the gun.
No.
Because, surprise, I prepared for this episode.
More than me.
Let's be real. You waking up in the morning is more prepared than me for this episode. But Mary Bowers, 10 and a quarter,
Yep.
which means she's getting the free trip
Absolutely.
to NYC. And if I remember correctly, this is a step up for her in terms of what she's qualified for and finished at recently. Don't call it a comeback. She's been here for years.
She has been here for years.
Which is that's great. The resurgence of a Mary Bowers is very exciting, and it's a really good sort of stopping point because to me this is like kind of the beginning of the push. It's a really good start for the ladies for Nathan's.
Yeah, and the past 2 years, 3 years where we've really been tracking, the road to Coney.
Yeah, we do.
And we always are talking about the female competitive eaters and how, one of our number one hopes on the road to Coney is, more female competitive eaters, whether it be existing ones stepping their game up or new ones coming into the fray.
Yep.
So it's, again, maybe last year, maybe the year before, but when the vast majority of the table qualified with pretty low numbers relative to the champion,
losing
Mickey
Miss
Soto.
Boxberger as well was a blow.
Right, we lose Meredith as well. Is tough. So it's great to see Mary, hit that 10 mark, do the deuce, and I'm sorry, not do the deuce, do the half deuce.
She's doing the George Watt. What do we call it? That's one.
Hamilton?
The Hamilton. That's
Hamilton.
10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$10 bill if they still exist.
Well, you're only spending hundreds. That's why.
I'm only about the Benjamins.
He's about the Benjamins or that platinum card. That's the life Mike Sullivan's living these days.
So looking quick, this will be her 7th appearance at the July 4th table.
Amazing.
And again, great that she's doing it with over 10 hot dogs.
And over 10 and early. So I mean, she could fall off and not really train, and maybe that 10 sort of falls back, or she's just hitting her stride. She qualifies, and now she's emboldened by the 10 and a half. Maybe we see like a really good number from Mary Bowers. That would be pretty cool.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned one of her better performances, and it's true. Again, looking really quickly, it was I think a top 5, maybe top 6, like definitely top 10 performance from a hot dog standpoint out of the 20 that she's done. So it's good to see, even though that she's in recorded history, she's been competitively eating for 8 years. She's still in it. Still coming to win. There were other, I don't know if you caught it in any of the photos, but there were, it looked like at least 2 other women that were there at the contest.
To be there.
Yeah, and looked really excited to be there. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, I love to see Mary back, and of course, our main man, who we saw qualify, Nick Wary.
I love Nick Wary.
I love Nick Wary too.
Yeah,
he's also a Finkie's nominee in the Avengers.
Rising Star.
That's right.
And the Avengers.
Oh, so he's a 2-time nominee as well. Muscle Boys.
We had him on to talk about the Avengers.
That's right.
That was a what was it? Breakout performance.
Yeah.
But he's somewhat especially from a Rising Star category, coming in so fiercely with 34 hot dogs and buns. Obviously, he's humongous.
He's physically
and
he's like laser focused.
Correct.
Yeah.
So 34, James. We didn't see who the other competitors were in the contest, but do you feel 34? Maybe he was just hit. Is it a coincidence that he hit his personal best?
It's so tough. I mean, it's impossible to know. I'm excited that he's doing well. Like it's great that another person who you're excited to do well. You know what? It doesn't matter what we say if I make a prediction that's wrong.
I'm just curious. As a journalist.
I was listening to another podcast. They were like, "Well, who cares if I predict this NBA series wrong?
We're not going to remember.
There's no consequence to this. So screw it. This is the beginning of him doing 37 hot dogs in July and buns.
Wow. I'm going to say this is the beginning of him hitting 40.
40
on July 4th.
Wow.
America's birthday.
Really? And you know who else's birthday it is?
Carmen Cincati.
Carmen Cincati. And you know when the last time we saw Carmen was? Not at the Finkies.
Not at the Finkies.
Dude, I just remembered that.
Not part of Major League Heating.
He's
retired from Emily and the Finkies.
We're too close.
Yeah.
That's a statement on how close
he got confused. He thought it was an officially sponsored event and then realized, oh no, like they don't make or have any money. So
no, you know what? He's been reading Eat Feeds. He's like, oh, those guys are MLE.
Yeah, right.
That's why he couldn't go. That's why he couldn't go. But something we talked about off air, not off the record, but certainly off air. We're excited that Nick Wary qualifying early.
Yeah,
means we have someone new winning Citi Field next year.
That's a great point. That's a really great point.
Further eFeeds research tells me.
Oh my god!
I like to call it research. Tells me that the Long Island Ducks is going to be stacked.
Yes, it is, James.
So Long Island and Queens are about to get real on the road to Coney Abudu.
New York is a real battleground.
I'm sorry there's no West Coast contest, Juan, but it's amazing.
But look at all the action that's happening on the East Coast.
That's right.
So Jeff Esper
kid.
George Chigger, Eric Badlands Booker.
I know them all.
And a woman coming out of retirement, Laurel, the real deal, Melee.
Nothing makes me happier than thinking about that.
Will be competing on May 9th at Long Island Ducks. I believe TD Ballpark, I believe.
I'm sure. Everything's sponsored by a bank.
Yeah, TD owns Long Island, I feel like.
Yeah, there's green pens everywhere. You can't send a check on Long Island without TD.
Penny arcades, green pens, and dog treats.
Yeah, do you know the Penny Arcade, you have to have an account there now. You can't just go in there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Mary put me on game. Was like, she was upset about it. But I've been there with her. I still take the little lollipops when I go out.
Do you have an account?
No, but she does. I'll go there because the bags are heavy in her
Got
hand.
it.
She's like, I'll carry the bags because they weight.
I didn't know if you went because like you're like, all right, Mary, I got you. Like,
no, I'm blessing her with the thing.
Right.
No,
she's with me.
She does it all. I take all the lollipops. But shoot, now I lost the whole.
We were talking about Nick Wary. We were talking about Ducks. Citi Field, actually. You made a great point about Citi Field being open.
And also another bank. But I didn't realize that before. Citi Field is going to have one of Badlands, Esper, or who's the third?
Chigger.
Sorry, Chigger. One of those guys is going to be there. If not, two of those guys.
Yeah.
You have to assume.
I mean, Smart Money says that Esper will do pretty well. I mean, at least last year on the road to Coney, he kind of was like, not knowing the numbers offhand, he definitely had one of the highest qualifying numbers next to like a Carmen Cincati.
He's in that echelon, yeah.
So he'll do pretty well.
Yeah.
So then it looks at where is Badlands going to go? Will he wait and go to Citi Field?
He's got JetBlue points or something.
But
he could go anywhere.
He's probably got like a private jet that it can.
Yeah, I'll say this: somewhere. I've seen photos of him and Gina in a plane. I've never seen anyone else in the photos. So
that's a fact.
That is just my experience.
But yeah, I mean, Badlands has been known to travel. So because that's the thing about Citi Field, and I'll try to look quickly, but it's usually the second to last or third to last.
I always feel like it's the last one. It's always Father's Day weekend. Oh, they always do like DC.
So DC's the 22nd, and then they added a late qualifier, the Santa Cruz, California, which is on June 26th.
Yeah, I have a couple hot takes on this.
And then Queens on the 16th. So yeah, it's the third to last. Yes, your hot take.
Wait, actually, do we have one? And this is when we are sort of left out to dry when we're not going to do cuts. Do we have another episode before we go to the 30 for 30?
No, and I did want to talk about
Great. So
Yeah.
hot take.
that. Here we are.
Santa Cruz is added because they're going to do a late stunt with Kobayashi coming back this year.
Whoa, that is...
And they did it in California so that Joey doesn't have to travel for it. But they're going to fly Kobayashi out for a last-minute
This is a hot
exhibition
take.
stunt where
Hot take
Kobayashi
10.
comes back. Hot take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's my belief.
Whoa.
And that's why I think they added a late one in California, because they had to do it on Joey's turf.
Wow. Okay.
They both fly back for the 4th of July. They do a weigh-in, like a boxing type weigh-in, not unlike the weigh-in that they actually do. And Kobayashi, Joey, we're back.
Okay. Let's break this down a little bit. So June 26th is a Wednesday. It is...
Oh, it's on a Wednesday.
It's on a Wednesday. That doesn't mean anything.
They would do it a weekend. Though.
Joey and Kobe don't...
No, but they would want the hype. Everyone would hype it up on a weekend, right?
Unless they're just doing it for like the TMZ video article. You know what I mean?
Or doing it so that someone will actually come.
I'm trying to see where it is. It says at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. Dude, are they doing it on Wednesday because they're gonna have some sort of big film crew that they want to be able to take over the thing? Dude, I'm trying to help your hot take here.
Yeah, and I, you know what? If you poke holes, and you're more than welcome to, I'm just gonna refute it more heavily.
It's at 8:30 p.m.
Son.
on. Oh, it's this is probably just a typo. Yeah, on Wednesday, June 26th, 8:30
Typo
p.m.
from MLA style.
local time on the Santa Cruz Boardwalk.
Son.
So okay, so it's essentially a week. It's on a Wednesday. The 4th is the following Thursday. So it's like 8 days away.
Enough time to own the narrative for 6 days.
Okay.
7, 8 days.
So all right, let me take a step back and we can catch up.
Because this was not something we talked about before.
No, and I love it.
Because I was just
love
excited about the City Field thing, and I'm also worried about those guys qualifying as well. By the way,
the three that we talked. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want all three of those guys.
But we have a
need
long
be
road to
able
Coney.
Yabadoo. Okay, so to catch everyone up,
sorry.
I can't remember if we talked about this on the show.
Joey
but
Chestnut won 10 years ago. Beating Takara Kobayashi.
ESPN is releasing a 30 for 30 documentary
Yep.
about from what we understand, is about the rivalry of Joey Chestnut and Takeru Kobayashi.
Sure.
We will be going to the premiere of said film because it's happening here in New York. We're very lucky.
Yep.
It's in about a week and a half. So by our next episode, we'll be able to talk about it.
Good. Okay. Great.
Assuming there's no press embargo, which I don't believe there will be.
No, and it's because it's also doing the rounds. I think it's going to be. In
Yeah,
Boston
that's true too. There'll be other screenings.
That's how
and stuff, too.
That will be the tip off if I'm right about this. If it has like a Southern California run around that time.
That's interesting. So to James's point, they're having a few showings in New York as part of the Tribeca Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they announced there was one in like Boston area. There was like a few random places in the U.S. So it's making its rounds. From what I had heard, so there's no official release date yet, as far as I know. But from what I had heard, it's going to be released end of June, early July, like basically to coincide with this year's contest.
I don't really know California.
I don't either. So why don't you look it up?
But it would be like straight up LA if they were going that angle. But
yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. So I
can't
mean,
get the Santa Monica Boardwalk though. It's Santa Monica Boardwalk. Santa Cruz. This is great content. I swear. It's.
Oh my God.
It's just a couple miles from one San Jose, California.
Which we know is the home of one Joey Chestnut and one Matt Stoney.
They're pulling something.
Dude, this is really interesting.
Because neither of them to qualify, they have the exemption.
Thought about this.
I'm a mad genius, Mike.
Dude,
I'm an idiot savant is actually probably it.
Because something else to pull into this, to layer into this, is about a year ago, and we talked about it on the show.
They teased it.
It started to get reported about Kobayashi, whether he would come back or not.
There were like murmurs, people like, oh.
Well, there was a random kid on Twitter who wrote to George or Joey and Kobayashi on Twitter, and I think George responded and said, you know, we would love to have him back, and Joey has said for years that he would love to compete against him again, and so on. And
a retirement angle here.
So
we got a road to Coney.
Kobe usually is silent about it, but he actually started tweeting saying, you know, I have no interest and blah blah blah, like all this negative stuff, and was very firm on saying, like, very firm on this, saying I want nothing to do with the contest. There's absolutely no way. Yeah. That was about a year ago.
And time heals all wounds.
Well, but that was around the time that they were filming this documentary.
Right.
Because I remember on July 4th last year, we were talking about, we didn't know it was ESPN, we didn't know it was a 30 for 30.
We had nibbles.
But we heard there was a documentary being filmed,
Right.
and apparently they may or may not have filmed something at the 2018 contest.
Let me ask you this.
Oh my God,
You just went to WrestleMania,
I did.
which is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest of
Professional wrestling.
How long do they build storylines for? Maybe almost a whole calendar year for a night
There
of
have
WrestleMania?
been some rare occasions where that's happened. This year specifically is a bad example of that. But
I thought for sure you were going to be
But
like,
no,
actually every year.
no, but I mean, like John Cena versus The Rock the first time was a year in the making.
We've made that exact comparison.
I never liked
Have
John
we not?
Cena.
You walked right. It's a hot take. Clearly they're doing something with Joey and Stoney because it's the only one in California.
Yeah, it's pretty
or one of
wild.
the only ones. The last week that they're going to do it. I would absolutely love this.
And it was announced after everything else.
Right.
And
When they knew that they were getting the film, really was going to have some legs. They got all the film dates figured out. They probably had to write up some contracts with Kobe. Something's happening.
that's wild. Wow, James.
I love this.
You
I'm
are
psyched.
like, I think,
This is my competitive eating renaissance.
wow. So yeah, hot take. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, like
Hit us up on Twitter if you
Yeah,
agree.
what do you guys, the hashtag FinkFanForum, what do you guys think about that? I mean, that's pretty wild.
We'll talk about this 1,000 more times.
Probably.
I'm gonna think about this like on my own. That's how you know. When I'm on my own, I'm like, oh wow.
Speaking of Nathan's qualifiers, so this upcoming weekend we're staying in Florida, the Miami qualifier.
Yep.
Which I'm just gonna throw it out there. I was talking to someone about it. I feel like it was rumored that Adam Beard Meets Food was going to be at that qualifier.
Does he just love Miami?
Has he been there since the croquette eating contest? And
Yeah, we haven't seen anything from him.
So, well, he's posting videos, but I don't,
right.
I know he does some of that in advance. So I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe he just really loves Miami.
Pablo has come out on Twitter and said that he will be there. In
The
Miami.
annual Pablo
The
season
family trip, the couple's trip.
Florida vacation.
Vegas will be the following weekend.
Couple locals?
As well as the sweet corn eating championship. So we'll have those results during our next episode.
People loved the corn Finkies question. And by that I mean my family.
That was one that beforehand we didn't know if that was going to land, and then
And people loved it.
Other big news, James, that I want two things that I wanted to throw out there. The Hooters Wing Eating Championship came back, which is pretty crazy.
But no announced qualifiers, right?
No.
Okay.
So in the past there were 2, maybe 3. I mean, when we were covering the sport, I feel like there were 2 qualifiers.
That noise made Einstein bark. Did you hear that?
No. He's a big wrestling fan.
And of course. And we speak each other's language. We get along.
So they did have qualifiers for this in the past, so
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, it was literally just announced either today or yesterday.
Awesome.
It's happening in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, not in Florida.
In Vegas. Well, not in Vegas. In Nevada.
In Nevada.
And I texted Mitch, who's a Las Vegas local.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, dude, Lake Tahoe, like
nah.
right by you. And then after I sent the text, I looked at Google Maps, 8 hours.
It's that
away.
far?
It's 8 hours from Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So he was like, oh, I've been looking for an excuse to go there. Like,
Yeah, Lake Tahoe, a vacation destination for one Daniel Rispoli and James Mercado as children.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like, random.
There's like all these stories about them going there as kids. I don't really understand. Mercado used to go on their family vacations because they're like, Dan, you're miserable. Let's bring Mercado with us. Which is
And
like
Mercado lightens up every day.
Yeah,
Like,
they were like, this is the best thing ever. We have like the best son to go on vacation with.
That's amazing.
So anyway, that's the only thing I know about Tahoe.
So yeah, but exciting that a big name contest like Hooters
Agreed.
is coming back, which is pretty freaking cool.
And there's another one I don't recognize. Is that Hard Rock?
No, that's
No.
the
Oh.
Fortune Bay
Oh,
Casino,
no,
Minnesota.
I
It's
see.
Tower, Minnesota.
There we go. Now I see it.
The Rice Hot Dish Eating Championship. I don't know if we talked about Max Chicken Tenders.
No, but I'm psyched. Where's
I
that?
feel like it's in California.
I love a chicken tender.
No, Florida. St. John's, Florida.
Some new content. Well, not new, but it's getting announced is exciting mostly because now, maybe because it's post Finkies, maybe because we're getting into the push on the road to Coney, Yabadoo. I feel like we're regenerating. Like, we're really hitting the stride right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good time to be a Fink brother.
It's always a good time to be a Fink brother.
And one last thing, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, James, but as we were going through it, the Gringo's Banditos hot sauce, the World Taco Eating Championship, snuck up. I guess, again, I'm in Finkie's mode, so I feel like it's still the beginning of the year. Apparently this happens every April, so it did happen.
Who knew?
And I did, this is what I will say, there's a lot of independent eaters who I'm interested in, especially a lot of the ones that were in this contest.
Mm-hmm.
This is the contest, if you remember, that happens during like an Offspring / Sum 41 like music festival.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure we talked about it.
I don't know the full backstory. We should probably give proper research to this.
One of the guys from like the Offspring owns a hot sauce company.
He owns Gringo Banditos.
Yes, we have talked about
and
this.
And like Wee Man is always at this festival. It's like a 2-night music festival.
Yeah,
and they do like tacos and like hot sauce competitions between like local vendors. Looks like an awesome event.
Yeah.
It's out in California. And it's very notable because it's one of the only contests that I can think of off the top of my head where Kobayashi and Molly go head to head.
Which I saw. That's when I was scrolling through e-feeds and was like, whoa.
Yes. So Kobayashi, I think, has won this contest every single year. And this year was no different. He ate 157 tacos in 10 minutes. Molly Schuyler came in second with 146, and Dan Killer Kennedy got third place with 107. But so first of all, congrats to
big shots to
Kobayashi. I started to put together some photos, but they're literally all of Kobayashi just like yelling, like just he does his patented like stomach up and like do whatever. I'll pull one up just so.
But before we get to the next thing, just before I forget, Molly never gets blown out.
Correct.
She's always right there. And, like, obviously, Kobayashi's Kobayashi, but there's not really other people who really, really compete with her. But she's never going to get beat badly. And I love that about her.
No, I mean, obviously, she's one of the best competitive eaters in the world. That's why I always wish that she... Yeah.
What's he mad about?
He's got a lot of tacos on there.
What a judge. But that's not... What's his face?
So that was the other interesting thing that had happened.
Which I'm sorry to call him what's his face. We love him. What's his name?
That is not Todd Greenwald. That's who you're thinking of.
I kept wanting to call him Lee Greenfield, but I think that's the guy who sings "America the Beautiful." Or
you got me.
Pride to be an American is Lee Greenfield.
That's quite the piece of trivia.
She is Finkie's.
There we go. There he's like, ugh. That is a gentleman who's an official from recordsetter.com.
Oh.
It's like an online world record database.
We may have referenced them in our show.
Yes, that is exactly the site I was thinking of. And I'm trying here. Let me go through. So Corey Henderson is the CEO of recordsetter.com.
Okay.
And I feel like for the past few years they've been involved with the contest because it's all about setting a new world record.
Sure.
So they want to make it official, which I appreciate. But the crazy thing is, Nader Rada, who freak eating.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
He started choking during
insanity.
The competitive eating contest and actually has it on film.
Which I didn't want to watch.
I didn't really feel comfortable showing the video.
Yeah.
You can go on his channel. He has it out there, and I appreciate he said, this raises awareness of people, not doing this in their own kitchen, like by themselves, like only, being a professional and just doing these types of feats in safe spaces.
Like an eat feat?
Like an eat feat.
Yeah.
And we say all the time, like safety first and whatever. And whether it's an MLE contest or, a legitimate independent contest.
Yeah.
Or not, I wouldn't even say independent 'cause it's a major company, but like just a non-MLE contest.
What we call the
like,
indie contest.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you take safety seriously.
Yeah,
and
100%.
And they did too. But the crazy part is it was Corey Henderson who
No.
gave him the Heimlich maneuver.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you can see it in the video. Like you can see Nader like just sort of like start to be like, okay, like am I choking? What's going on?
Right.
And then he kind of looks around and then he starts, giving the sign or whatever. They were trying to call medical over. And I don't know.
And he just stepped in.
Corey just came in behind him and was like, boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Out. And then Nader, like, it took a little bit of time, but then Nader started eating
Yeah,
again.
I thought he did. I knew he
Dude,
did.
Come on. He ended up, here, I just saw his results.
Because his numbers, I was like, oh, he didn't stop.
He still ate 47 tacos and didn't come in last place.
That's amazing.
So
good for him. Glad he's
thank
okay.
God,
yeah.
Natter, that you're okay. Like, that's, obviously super scary, especially a professional level like that. I haven't heard of that happening.
No,
And
I hadn't thought about it, but I'm surprised.
as someone who has emceed competitive eating contests, and even though we always have like the EMT there, it made me go like, I need to get like certified to be able to do that, because you never know. Like,
I'm sure you've never been like, okay, so the EMT is here. Like, if X, Y, and Z happens, I know he can like, or she can like come up this way, blah blah. Like, I'm sure it never crosses your mind. Like, there's like, oh, they're here because, but like, can they get to the stage? Is there something
I
in front
always
of them?
chit chat with them, and I'm like, hey, like, this is the contest. Here's what we're doing. This is the state. Like, give them and I'm always like, do whatever you guys want or whatever. Listen, I will say that 95% of the time, they're like, cool, great, and they're like right by the stage
super
and whatever.
professional, right?
But there have been times where like you can kind of tell like they're just kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's an eating contest, right? So you like never know, and like people get distracted. If there's 15 people on the stage, you never know, and it's loud. Especially this one is at a rock concert. It was a festival. There's a huge
and everyone
crowd of
knows.
people.
Sum 41, Offspring, right?
Rowdy
crowd. Everyone now in their 40s with their kids.
But I did want to kind of give a shout out to Natter, and again, if anyone's interested, you can go on his channel. He put it out himself.
I am not.
It's tough. It's definitely tough to watch. On the lighter side of things, congrats to Kobayashi.
Yeah, big ups.
And Molly was posting a ton of stuff online. It seems like her and Kobe are thick as thieves almost. Which is cool to see like the good sportsmanship.
And also bonded in their hatred for Major League Eating.
Probably.
I like to think that the whole time it's like, oh, you'll never guess what George once said to me.
You know how dumb Mike looks in that boater hat? Come on.
Look at this guy in his beautiful jacket.
So, I think that's it.
Another great episode, I feel like.
Yeah, like like you said, I'm excited that now the road to Coney is now in the next year. It's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, this is gonna be the part where we look at each other and we're like, yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, like, are we ready?
4th is gonna come up.
Do we have anything together? Oh yeah, there's one day we're just like, oh, it's Memorial Day. Oh, it's July 4th. Crap.
It's April 16th, the recording of this episode.
And once the Finkies are done, the year can begin.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank God. So we're doing this video thing for the first time. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback.
Yeah.
We're still getting used to this whole thing. Love to hear about the topics. What are your thoughts on James's hot take that seriously is blowing my mind still? Hashtag FinkFanForum, or you can just hit us up directly. The best place to do that is to go to twitter.com/FBTSpod. You can also find us there on Instagram. But if 280 characters just aren't enough,
what do you got?
You can send us an email. It's an electronic snail mail, and you can do that by sending it to thinkbeatsthestomach@gmail.com. And James, when you're putting on an event like the Finkies,
there are,
moving images,
vids,
still life, digital memories,
pics,
and also paths to other places on the internet.
Links. Thank God for Al Gore. And
also a way to just organize having an event.
100%.
Like the Finkies.
Voting.
To get links
answering
to voting.
on this website that I'm about to mention and almost just gave away.
There's just a lot of things. If only, like, do you think that there's one place that we can find all this stuff?
I, for one, have not engaged with it, but not in a
while.
while.
Yeah, that's true.
With no disrespect to the medium, but it's facebook.com/FinkBeatsTheStomach.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we would love to post, if anyone out there who has photos from the Finkies, hit them on there. Hit up the Fink Fan Forum through there too. Like, we can start a discussion going. There's a few people who, whenever I post things, they'll comment, they'll put in there. Let's get a little bit of a discussion going on.
Psyched out. And again, if you don't love the show, but you love the Finkies, you're probably not also listening right now. Correct. But I hope those people post stuff still.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, James, I thank you for another great Finky Awards, another great episode.
Thank you for all the work and all the love and all the friendship.
Please,
the Finkies is a great time to remember why we love each other so much.
Can't believe we've done 4 of them at this point.
Yeah, well,
I can't believe we've done 87 of these.
Yeah, buddy.
So most importantly, we thank you guys for listening and watching this episode of Fink Beats the Stomach.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much, Kate.